Alright, hopefully this microphone works. I tested it before the stream. I'm back. Welcome everybody. Let's do the actual intro. Welcome, welcome, welcome. We are back another week in the market. It's been multiple weeks since my last stream. A lot of announcements for tonight, a lot of things going on. We have weeks of price action on all of the charts for me to catch up with. So yeah, we're gonna get into all of that. It's gonna be a fun stream. Let's see. Let me look at all of you directly now. So let's start with this. It's going to be a new stream schedule. So yeah, one less day a week. I can't stream on Mondays anymore. I'm going to make up for it though. I'm going to be doing longer streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So hopefully that makes up for it. No more half-an-hour streams unless it's just like a insanely bad day in the market. And by bad day, I don't mean like the market's down a lot. I mean like it didn't move at all. That's really what a bad day is in terms of like the stream, if there's nothing to talk about. But as long as it's not that, I'm gonna try and stream longer on the days that I am live. And we have a lot of other things. I don't know if I should just mention them all right now. Switch over here. All right, let's just start off with a couple of other things. First of all, shout out to my new intern who offered to be my intern literally on the last stream, which was a few weeks back. And he is going to be clipping up a lot of parts of the stream that are like really important, short, digestible, things about stocks, crypto, or just little maybe tips I give, like educational tips on the stream. He's going to be clipping all that up and sharing it on my second channel, which I just started, ChampionVibe Shorts, and then a new TikTok. I'm not going to lie, I lost the password to the old TikTok, which kind of sucks. But that was like the free trading movement TikTok. This is going to be the ChampionVibe TikTok. So it's a whole entire thing, but I'm going to drop those links in the chat really quickly if you didn't see them already. Let's see. So yeah, this is a link for the YouTube Shorts and the TikTok. Maybe if you missed the stream, this is going to be a really easy way just to get the highlights of the stream. Alright, I just completely messed up that. 1 second. Try and type this like this. Let's see. It's not working how I wanted to. Alright, maybe this is better. Just click the links I dropped in the chat. I don't know. That's the new YouTube channel. Make sure you go subscribe to that, and then go follow the TikTok. So we have that. Also, I'm gonna bring this up later in the stream, but today is a premium sale. The last stream I did, we did multiple giveaways, and this stream I'm doing a sale. So I think it's a cool little way to sandwich in the break that I had. But yeah, literally today only 20% off annual, which is already 30% cheaper than monthly. So you get another 20% off on top of that. That's actually 44% discounted from what you'll be paying in monthly for a year. So that's literally for today only. It's the pinned chat. When you go to sign up for annual, use the coupon code FALL, F-A-L-L, at checkout. And literally when I wake up tomorrow morning, this coupon code is gone. This is not only for anybody who's just looking to join premium. If you're already in premium, if you're in monthly and you want to switch to annual, DM me tonight and I'll get you sorted with the coupon code. And if you're an annual and you want to get your next year prepaid with a much lower rate, DM me as well. So I just want to mention that quickly. And what else I want to say? Also, shout out to Undershot. I wanted to bring this up on the stream. I'll drop this in the chat as well. Who has made a beautiful indicator on TradingView. This is something I've wanted forever, and Undershot got it done. You all know how much I talk about Divergence and how much I love the MACD. It's literally my favorite indicator. Like MACD Divergence is my thing. If you watch the stream, you know that how many times I'm talking about classic bullish divergence, hidden bullish, hidden bearish, classic bearish. And it can be very confusing for a lot of you who are newer to the whole entire free trading movement to understand all those terms. Undershot, and you still should go out of your way to like learn what the difference is between all of them, but Undershot literally made an indicator, which is doing it for you. So that's in the Discord, but I'll also drop that in the chat. Go add that to your trading view. And those are just a few announcements. Let's actually get into the stream now. A lot has happened, a lot has changed. I don't even really remember where we left off. I remember SDC was squeezing. It had a great day, like literally this day after my stream, and then it kind of started falling with everything else. It was up like, I literally put it in the Discord channel, like, I think my last stream was a Thursday, and then on the Friday, it was up like literally 23% the day after or something. It was really cool. I don't even know if that's the right timing, but if you watched it back then, it made a nice move above too. Maybe it didn't go all the way to the moon, but at least it got out of the atmosphere for a little bit. We can take a look at that as well tonight, just give an update on how that chart's looking. Did it add to my watch list? Yeah. I think it's already there, maybe. Let's see. I'm not seeing any chats about the mic, so I think we're good. I think I fixed it. Yeah, a lot of things have happened. I also try to post about this bearish harmonic on Twitter and everything. I know a lot of other people in the community did as well. Great move there. I was talking about that bearish rejection of the 200 moving average, the classic bearish divergence. Here you can see Undershot's indicator at work labeling it for us. So you had all of that. We even had like an upsloping channel breakdown. This is something I did mention. The week while I was away, I still did kind of give some updates in the premium watch list just for what I was looking at in the overall market. And I did say, you know, broke down from this overall channel. I'm overall bearish and everything. That was like pretty close to the top. We've been seeing a very, very aggressive, I'd say like a mini crash. I mean, not yesterday. Friday was the worst day for the market, or at least for the S&P 500, I believe, since like right over here. Like literally the bottom of the year. You could see this day you were down 3.3%. On Friday, you were down 3.4%. I think it was even worse than then. So, yeah, I mean, definitely one of the worst days of the year. And yesterday you kind of had a little bit of an indecision day, and then today you just followed through with another red flush candle, again another bearish engulfing candle. You took out some major levels. We're going to get into all of that. I'm going to tell you all which stocks I'm looking at, my thoughts on the overall market with everything's moved. We're going to start off really quickly with crypto though. Yeah, the latest round of those crypto alerts from the Discord, thankfully, I think they worked out pretty well. Most of them hit targets, or I was able to mark them green. So Bitcoin pretty much hit that first target. And yeah, I mean, I alerted this probably somewhere over here. That was the first target when I alerted it. Went right up to that target, and that's where it reversed. This is why you have targets. And yeah, I literally pretty much got there. And now it's pulling back. In terms of the technicals right now, you're retesting this 20K level, which dates all the way back to your bull cycle highs in 2017. I don't know, it's not loading. There you go. So you're kind of back at that same level. It was even resistance for a bit at the end of 2020. And now you're just retesting it. So, you know, one way to look at this, if we kind of extend this supply line over, is just a downsloping channel. But you can also kind of create these lows here. And then it kind of brings up the potential for a dragon pattern. But really it's more just about, can you hold this big support level that you have been holding since you got down to it in June. But it's been a pretty quiet summer for Bitcoin, to say the least. It's been a very quiet summer. This does kind of remind me of the summer in 2020. You had the stock market going absolutely insane. Stocks are going to the moon. It was probably one of the easiest times to trade ever. And Bitcoin was just consolidating, as you could see over here in the summer of 2020. And then it started going towards September, October, and just kept on running. I'm not saying that's going to happen again for sure, but it just reminds me of that. We even had the other crypto trades pretty much hit their first targets perfectly. Litecoin, this I was able to mark green like the day after it got up over here. And that's why the targets are there, you know. Hopefully these go on to hit other targets, but I think more than anything else, just whether or not Bitcoin can hold 20K. There's really not much I'm seeing apart from that. You're just retesting your lows. Link was another one that's perfectly hit that second target for a 50% gain. I mean, we had a really nice round of swings go off before I took this break. And it's kind of like, Medi literally called it. I'm sure you're watching, taking timestamps right now, Medi. But Medi literally said it's like every time you go away, like the market just kind of flips around, and kind of happened again, which is crazy. But same thing for Link there. And then Ethereum, this hit I think almost the third target, which would have been an 86% gain. I mean, these were some huge crypto swings. You did get a nice bullish engulfing candle on the 29th, a little bit of indecision since then. I actually don't even think this looks that bad. This kind of looks like a bull flag to me, right over here. So as long as you can just hold that, you're kind of testing the breakout right now. Keep an eye on Ethereum. So that's really it for crypto. And we've had crypto sell off, we've had metals pull back, we've had US equities pull back, we've had equities from other countries pull back. But there has been an asset class, pretty surprising, at least to me from a technical standpoint, not necessarily from a fundamental standpoint, but there has been an asset class that has been going up quite a bit. And you have all of these bonds. I mean, the 10 years back at 3.1%, which is very important because that was your right shoulder of the bearish head and shoulders. And, you know, before I took this break, I was talking about how bearish I was in this chart. I mean, if we just take out what has happened in the last week, you're talking about a head and shoulders pattern with a bear flag breakdown. And this is all like after an insane run, you were overbought on the RSI at the highs. Like, this is trend reversal textbook stuff. And just the macro world, I don't know, the economy, it just kind of said, nope, this really doesn't matter for right now. And you're just rallying back up on the 10-year. So it's actually taking out the highs from that right shoulder, which therefore invalidates the head and shoulders pattern. And yeah, it kind of just feels like we're back to where we were. We had an amazing rally for equities. What was it, in July? I don't really remember the dates fully, but it kind of feels like we're back to where we were. The same cycle, the bonds going up, equities pulling back. It's like reverse autopilot mode. That's just where we're at. Let me take a look at some other stuff. We also have crude oil, which had a pretty rough, it was making a nice move up. It did close above the 200-day moving average yesterday. And then today it just flushed. Bearish engulfing candle breaking back down. You have hidden bearish divergence on the MACD, as you can see there. Kind of looks like a bear flag forming here too. So Even crude oil, I think it's starting to flip back to bearish. It was breaking out, it was making a move, but the bulls just really weren't able to hold it that nicely. So now you're kind of looking at it from a little bit of a different perspective. It also broke back under that big $93 support level. So that's crude oil futures. And then quickly for the metals, I was bearish on these, I believe, the last time I was streaming. We talked about that hidden bearish divergence, which was just forming, and how it was retesting those previous lows as a resistance. So you're just sandwiched in between two big levels on gold, and then silver, you're retesting your lows of the year pretty much after making a nice little move on that falling wedge breakout. And this is something that's very common. Yep, that 382. This is something on a lot of like wedges. When you're in a pretty rough bear trend, I see a lot of wedges kind of just go up to that 382 level. I don't know what Bulkowski says about it, but you can see we've been in this like midterm bear trend on silver. You got the wedge and you just kind of went only up to that 38% Fibonacci retrace. In bull trends, however, I feel like it goes more up towards that golden zone, which is like that 50 to 62% retrace. But very, I'd say a very textbook, like, you know, bullish pattern playing out as much as it could in a little bit of a bearish trend. For silver, then we have the dollar currency, which has been rallying. It's back up at the highs of the year. You do have a little bit of classic bearish divergence. You really fail to get above this previous high from July 14th. That 109 level is pretty much your highest prices in like 2 decades, I believe. Yeah, so you're just testing that. If it breaks above, there's not much up to like 120, which would be, it would be insane. If the dollar currency index goes to 120, it's like, that's just actually crazy. I mean, look at this. Literally, a little bit over a year ago, you were down at 89.90. Now you're pushing 110, and if you break that 110, there's no resistance till 120. You just, it's literally been bullish pattern after bullish pattern after bullish pattern, just nonstop, except for like this one rising wedge, which literally broke up. So yeah, I mean, we're just in a very unique time. I think this, you can only relate this time in the market to maybe 2 or 3 other times in the past, max 5. But we're just in a very rare scenario for the market. Times like these have happened before to a certain extent, but there's just not a lot of data to work off of, because most of the data for the market is just going straight up, and you just haven't been doing that so far this year. So it's kind of like a little bit of a pickup in an overall larger trend. We can go take a look at that monthly chart and you can see what I'm talking about here. But this is where you're at. We had a nice bounce, and it kind of feels like we're just continuing that same trend. Let's just delete all of this choppiness on the chart, and the trend is still intact for bears. Another lower high has been put in. Who knows if we make another lower low, which would be down over there. But you're pulling back right now. It's not the easiest time to start giving predictions for the market. You're kind of, I believe you're at a 50% retrace from this low to this high, so you're halfway back down. You're not really at any major technical levels right now on the S&P 500, in my opinion. You have some smaller levels towards 390, the lower 390-ish area, but you're just kind of in this waiting period from a technical standpoint. There isn't much of an edge, in my opinion. You do have this volume spike. Let me go bring back my normal chart. So you do have this volume spike taking place, and you are at the lower Bollinger Band. And this is something we talk about all the time. The lower Bollinger Band with the high volume spike being bullish for the market, and then vice versa, lowering volume with an upper Bollinger Band being bearish. I mean, we could see that played out perfectly right over here, right? You were at your upper Bollinger Band, which is the top of this black cloud. I don't know why I keep looking here. My camera's in front of me. What was I going to say? You have this upper Bollinger Band, and you could see in that period, not mean to do that. In that period, you were losing your volume. And what did you do? You topped out. And now you're showing the opposite. You're at your lower Bollinger Band, and now you have a spike on volume. So, you know, we're down quite a bit in about a week. We can take a look at this. 8% pullback in 2 weeks. But if we just go from where we were on Friday at the open to where we are now, we're down like 5% in a few days. So this is a very quick, sharp move down. Your volume is rising. You're at the lower Bollinger Band. If we go down to even lower time frames, you did see this bullish engulfing candle on the 1 hour. You also do have 1 hour classic bullish divergence. You're oversold on the 1 hour. So yeah, the last time you were oversold like this was pretty much these lows, which if you're in premium, this was the like picture perfect thing I was talking about, which we'll talk about in a second. I'll show it to you in a second. But that was pretty much the last time you oversold on the RSI. You did get really your only bounce of this short-term downtrend we've been in. And before that, the last time you oversold on the 1 hour, like really oversold, was literally your lows of the year. So if we just take a look at the RSI, like, just drag this up 1 second. We just take a look at this, right? Just based on the RSI. Just gonna put lines. These are like the only, this is like the 4th time really since June. This is the 4th time since June on the 1 hour that you've been oversold like this. The last 3 times you did get a bounce. So you match that stuff on the daily with the stuff on the 1 hour. I think at least this is signaling a little bit of a dead cat bounce to come within the next day or two for the market. The only thing is that you're just not at a big level. I did mention this in the Discord today, where I think I said, like, maybe on my 30-minute chart. Yeah, this 390 to 393 level is kind of your bigger zone. You can see that you have some highs and lows there from the past. So that 390 to 393 level is kind of under you. It's about 1.5% under you, give or take. So that's like the next major zone, but you are getting some variables. You have the classic bullish divergence developing. You could probably like start a little bit of a breakout that already just took place from today. If we take a look at this. So I think this is a good amount of variables for a short-term bounce for the market. So the stream is literally titled, I got the Superman thumbnail, ChampionVibe returns to save the market. Maybe at least for like a day or two. I don't know. I'm still overall just waiting for more data. I was very bearish at this high at the 200-day moving average. That's why I stopped. If you notice, I haven't really put out any swings since my last stream. I put out a couple in premium. They're not doing too great, to be honest. But yeah, I just really haven't been sharing that many swings. Just even the day trading has been a little bit rough. A lot of fake outs. You did have a couple days, which is like Friday and today, where you did go straight down, which would have been very easy for puts. But like, if you go back to the price action last week, this whole entire area over here was very choppy. So it's been a tougher trading environment, at least for my system. There's easier times and there's tougher times, but now it's looking like you're starting to get the variables that I look for easier times, at least short term. So I'm a little bit optimistic for the next day or two from a technical standpoint that we can start seeing a bounce. But again, got a lot of resistance. You broke down from a lot of support, which now makes it resistance. So the overall picture is still 50-50 to me. Like midterm, short term, I'm becoming bullish again. Long term, I'd be lying to you if I said I had any sort of clue. I'm just taking it day by day at this point. So that's really where you're at for the S&P 500. I feel like there was something else I wanted to mention. I can't remember it right now. So I will be looking for a bounce in the next, probably tomorrow, to be honest. I mean, you just got this breakout too, the supply line breakout. Futures are up a little bit, not that much. So really, like how I'm going into tomorrow, unless we get a gap down, we had these 2 well-defined lows from today at around 396. As long as we can hold that and then obviously stay out of this supply line that I just charted, then I'd be looking for resistance tests to the upside. Test one resistance, go on to the next, and just like that, I'll just be taking the day along like that. Assuming we don't gap down and just break these lows, or even if we break these lows intraday, that would kind of screw that plan up. But that's how I'm looking at the market short term in terms of the S&P 500. I don't know. It doesn't feel like an overall bottom to me, but it feels like a little bit of an area where you can see a bounce. That's probably the easiest way I can sum up where we're currently at. Yeah, so we're gonna leave it at that. Maybe even take a look at the weekly for a second here. Got that nice wedge breakout, now you're kind of turning around. Just nothing big is in this current area. So moving on to the other indices, we have the QQQ, which is also testing a zone. This is really interesting, just like I was saying on the S&P 500. So you see this low that it's testing right now was a major low in March of 2021. There's even resistance during elections of 2020. So the QQQ is also back in an important area. Maybe you could get some hidden bullish divergence developing. Honestly, literally any low above this year's low, and you're eventually going to have hidden bullish divergence on the daily, which is a good signal. It's just not really confirmed yet. Let's go on to lower time frames, and then the same thing on the 1 hour. Classic bullish divergence, and you can chart these wedge breakouts. So These lower time frames are really shaping up. I think they're looking the best that they have in a while. And by a while, I mean yeah, pretty much maybe since like all the way down over here when we were back testing. This was a beautiful back test, by the way. This was right before I stopped streaming. Actually, no, this was a while back. It's the end of last month, but that back test was beautiful. Like, since right over here, this is where we're at currently, in my opinion, is the best that the 1 hour chart and the lower time frames have looked for the market. So obviously you can see after that we got this nice rally over here. And now we got this pullback after the rally. And I think right now is probably the sharpest the technicals have looked on the Qs and the SPY on the lower time frames since then. However, the technicals don't look as good on the larger time frames. Technicals still kind of look pretty just weird on the higher time frames. So this just kind of signals to me short-term bounce, but still no longer-term direction until we get more data. So that's the Qs. Then we have the Russell 2000 small caps, which is kind of in the middle of nowhere on the daily. You just broke back down under a very critical level, which is 188. So maybe if the Qs and the SPY get that bounce, hopefully this can get back above 188. You literally broke under that level today. That's a very key level. It was even resistance over here. So you do have that. And again, that classic bearish divergence we were talking about just before I took this streaming break is playing out beautifully. I mean, it was like, you can't be surprised. You just can't be surprised. You had the classic bearish divergence. We were at the upper Bollinger Bands. We were at the 200-day moving average. I was tweeting about all these things, talking about it on the stream, trying to share as much as I could in the Discord. And that's really where you're at now. So you've pulled back. The lower time frame is starting to kind of look a little bit better. A lot of classic bullish divergence there. Moving on to the ARK ETF. It's retesting this $40 area, which dates back to some lows from 2019. Let's go down to lower time frames. I wouldn't say it's broken out like the other indices, but you do have a massive wedge on the 1 hour chart for the ARK ETF. You've also, again, this is the big thing, classic bullish divergence literally everywhere on the 1 hour chart, and it's even on a lot of individual names as well. I don't know, this might even be a shark right over here as well. A little bit deep on the D point, but close to a bullish shark. So yeah, lower time frames in my opinion are looking bullish again, pretty much for the first time since we were at the top. And that's really it for the market. Just looking at kind of it in an inverse way, we have the VIX, which had this kind of weird fake breakdown from that line. I guess it did play out for a little bit. And then you can see it reclaimed that demand line, that trend line we were talking about, back tested, and now it's been kind of shooting up again. So, you know, maybe if you could see, we also topped out right at 2770-ish yesterday and today. Maybe we get like a short-term relief rally, back test the 200 moving average. If that breaks, maybe then we retest the overall trend line again. Who knows? But I could do this right now. Just set an alert right above yesterday's high and today's high on the VIX. And if that breaks, you're probably breaking to a new low on the SPY. And then we're going to have to look at the next levels after that. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the overall market. Hopefully me being back is going to save it, at least for a day or two. And then we'll take it from there. But yeah, let me read the chat for a second. Make sure to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button. I haven't streamed in a while, so I need to remember all the things I have to say. And of course, subscribe to the new Shorts channel, ChampionVibe Shorts. Drop that in the chat again. And clips will probably start going up on the Shorts channel like tomorrow or the day after. So I just dropped the link to the Shorts channel in the chat. Go subscribe there. If you ever miss the stream, I'm going to try and get the intern's going to get some highlights up for all of you. Yeah. And let me read the chat for a second here. Let's do a quick roll call. If you haven't typed in the chat yet, go type in the chat right now so I can call out your name. Danny, D, Barasan, Zeke, Plebere, Medi, B. Johnson, AK, Your Blind Spot, Cheddar Freeze, Poop Around It, Me Tenderfoot, ATF, Rooster, IMEI Repair, Medi, Papa Strata, SH, I think I got all of them. Gold Miner, Michael, what's up, everybody? So that's just a quick roll call. Now let me actually read the chats. Appreciate all the vibes when I started out the stream. Zeke says, hey, riding a bike with square wheels is an ultimate skill that most don't have. Thank you for the input. I'm Yara Paris says, missed your nightly briefings. Well, it feels good to be back. Maddie said, market going up 20% in a short time, Jim Cramer being bullish, and you going on vacation was all the confirmation I needed to short. Actually, I've seen a lot of people, and this was not something I really even like put too much thought into. But Apple, I shared this. I think I might have shared this on stream before. I don't remember, but actually, yes, I did. We did talk about this on stream leading up to it. For like a week or two, you watch the stream. For any of you who watch the stream, like every time or every night, we were talking about like this harmonic while it was developing, and then I did put out like one tweet about it when it was at the top. But I've had so many people reach out to me like thanking me for like sharing this, like they got shorts or puts or whatever, and I'm like, I didn't even remember mentioning this that much, but so many people profited off of this pullback on Apple. So congrats all of you who did. Also shout out to everybody else who was sharing this. Very nice. I mean, this is exactly what you look for. It's like the end of a bearish shark, had the MACD losing momentum, probably around your upper Bollinger Band too. You're very close to it. You're in this resistance zone. I mean, yeah, it was crazy, but yeah. For SPY, if you do your fibs, it's at a 50% pullback from the recent rally. Yeah, it is a 50% pullback. I didn't notice that earlier today. Shut up, free saying heading out, want to hop in for a bit. Last trading day of the month tomorrow. I didn't even realize that. Wow, it's already September. Jobs numbers Friday are going to be interesting. Let's see what else. Just sub. Thank you, D, for subscribing to the Shorts channel. Zeke says, read Cheddar's message before, no context. It seemed like a weirdo. Yeah, I was really confused, like why you said that. I didn't see the message. Let me look at it. Oh, all right. So Cheddar said, join the FTM or your bicycle wheels are square. Okay. Yeah, I didn't read that. So I keep looking at, I feel like the camera's over here because my other one is, but, so, yeah, I didn't read that. So I was so confused about like why you said that. Michael says that looks like a butterfly which going down much more that lost its wings. All right, so there's the chat. We got 33 people in here. If you didn't hear me before, we have a sale tonight only. Okay, 20% off annual, which is already a 30% discount to monthly. So that's 44% cheaper than monthly for a year if you sign up tonight. All right, the sale is a flash sale. It's not like a full week sale. It's just tonight. If you're not in premium, just click on the pinned chat. The link's also in the description, and use code FALL, F-A-L-L, at checkout for annual. If you're already in premium and you want to take advantage of the sale, you can do that as well, but you have to DM me on Discord. And please make sure it's me. We've been having a lot of issues with these impersonators. And this is probably like the perfect time for the impersonators to try scamming people. So please make sure it's me. That's why I'm not reaching out to, I mean, I would just be weird to reach out to all of you for a sale, but so I never reach out asking you to sign up for anything. I'm never going to message you that. You're going to have to message me so you know it's me. All right. But yeah, let's keep it going. Let me talk about some individual stocks. We just kind of talked about Apple, but let me give you a little bit of an update on where it's at right now. You did have a bearish engulfing candle today on Apple. You also broke under the 200-day moving average, and I'm sure all eyes are on this level, which was kind of your low of the day today. I would pretty much say you filled the gap. I'm sure if you go to lower time frames, you didn't perfectly fill this gap on Apple. But this 157.5 level is that level that you're testing. If that breaks and there's not much support down to like 150. On the flip side, if you are able to reclaim that 200 moving average, you have this upside gap around 163.5. If we do go down to lower time frames, we were just talking about how the SPY and the other indices are looking a little bit bullish on lower time frames. And Apple's kind of doing the same thing. I don't really see, it's not textbook classic bearish or classic bullish divergence because your MACD made a lower low, but very close to, could have been if it didn't. It's probably the easiest way to put it. But yeah, maybe that short term those short-term variables give you a little bit of a bounce to the upside. We'll see what happens. Also, somebody asked me to look at Amazon before the stream started. Amazon does have this gap fill down at like 122.6. It broke down from this yellow zone, which was like 134 to 138. You see all these lows from the past. So it broke down from that. I actually did share this recently in the Discord, and now it's heading down to that lower gap fill level. But again, this is the thing with a lot of stocks right now. I'm sure you could find it on like other names. Let me see, like Tesla. Yeah. So here's what's kind of developing here on a lot of, especially like the large cap names. You do have downside gap fills to fill that you haven't really filled yet. But, and the same thing goes for the S&P 500, right? The same thing goes for the overall market, right? You do have some downside major gap fills that are not like really that far away. But those lower time frames, those bullish divergences, the wedges, the double bottom from today on like the 5-minute on the SPY, you might see a little bit of a bounce before you end up filling those gaps. And I would not be surprised if we did get a bounce, like I've been talking about, tomorrow and or Thursday. But it's not like a huge bounce. And then we start selling off again. We put in a new lower low for this downtrend in the market. And then we fill the gaps. And then we're going to be in a little bit more of a technical position for like, what's the best word to use here? For just a clearer signal for the trend. But we're not really there as of right now. So also SDC, I was talking about this a lot right before I took the break. It was literally, the stream was titled SDC. It was having a great time. It was squeezing, and then of course all good things must come to an end, and it did. So yeah, it kind of just started reversing with everything else. Right now though, very interesting area. I remember, let me try and pull up the date for my like last stream. And yeah, I'll be talking about CLOV and Fisker, of course. August 11th. Let's see. So yeah, this was like the last stream. Let's see. This was my last stream. I was streaming over here, and we were talking about SDC, all the technical variables, the squeeze, and it did make this nice move. It kept going higher, went all the way up to like 2.25, and that's where it ended up topping out. And now it's on the other side of the fence. It broke down from the symmetrical triangle pattern. It broke down from this critical yellow zone. But look at what you're doing right now. This is pretty interesting. You can look at it like this, which is kind of a mix of a bullish bat and a bullish Gartley. Or you could also look at it like this, which is a bullish shark. And this is a huge pattern. This also lines up with how, again, and this just goes back to what I was talking about at the beginning of the stream, the SPY and the QQQ and the Russell 2000, the indices starting to flip to bullish, in my opinion, on the lower time frames. You're literally sitting at a pattern completion zone of a bullish shark. This stock just lost half of its value in 2 weeks. Think about that. I mean, it's lost a lot more than that in the last, like, past couple of years from its highs. But in just a couple weeks, you've lost half of your value on stock price. Now you're sitting at a bullish shark. The market's kind of showing some variables. I literally keep looking there, thinking I'm looking at the camera, and I'm looking like to the side, so I gotta keep looking here. But I'm just gonna leave it at that. I'm not gonna say anything, but you all know what I look for on charts, and this is something that I will be keeping an eye on. 1.14 is the high from the end of June of this year. It's pretty close to that as well. It's an area where could see a bounce. Could. Not will, could. See what happens. That's SDC. There's really, like, there's no ongoing swings, which is kind of weird. We always have, like, the ongoing swings section on the stream, but there's no ongoing swings outside of premium right now. So I'm just going to keep running through some names on my watch list. I'm sure would get requested either way. We have Tesla, which had a bearish engulfing candle today on the 1 hour. It did break down from a 279 level, which, as you can see, was your lows over here and over here. After breaking down from that level, it quickly dropped another 2%. Now it's retesting that level. So if you can reclaim that level tomorrow, that would be big. You also have like this channel developing over here, or wedge, whatever you want to call it. And another name with a low time frame, classic bullish divergence. Like the title of the stream might come true if these variables on the 1 hour and the 30-minute play out over the next couple of days. So just keep an eye out. I'm very glad that today is the day that I'm streaming again, because even if I did stream like last week, which I couldn't have, but let's say I did, like the amount of value I could provide just wouldn't be the same as tonight. Like right now is actually the time where there's a lot going on the charts to talk about, so pay attention. The chip stocks, AMD, yeah, is it the one on the daily? Yeah, AMD's on the daily is actually back testing the breakout of this wedge. I was looking at this earlier today, and it also at the same time looks as if it could be, don't be surprised if we're looking at this chart in a few weeks, an inverse head and shoulders, like the right shoulder. So again, imagine right off the back test of this wedge and the potential right shoulder of an inverse head and shoulders, and then of course on the lower time frames, with all this going on, just imagine you get a bounce. All I'm saying is imagine if you did. I'm not saying if it will happen for sure, but it would be an interesting thing with all these variables if you saw a bounce on AMD short term. So these are all names that I will be looking at. I think today's lows are just a very clear way to manage risk. Hopefully we hold them. One gap down screws all this up. That's the issue. So that's why you can't, have any sort of certainty. That's why you have to manage risk, because you can wake up one morning and then boom, like you're down 1.5%. There goes all of your lows. There goes all your wedge breakouts, your bullish divergences. So always got to be prepared for the worst, but also understand the probabilities of what we're seeing. And now let's move on to, let's look at AMC first, which got absolutely destroyed in the past couple of weeks. Yeah, it's down about, or at the lows, it was down about 47% from the high it put in. And now AMC is showing some hidden bullish divergence on the daily. This is, I don't know if it's textbook, but very close to a bullish bat as well. A lot of major harmonics. Take a look at this. I mean, this is pretty much, I would call this a bullish bat, right? So a 4 hour time frame, bullish bat with the daily and 4 hour hidden bullish divergence on both oscillators. 4 hour. On the 1 hour, you're actually working on this double bottom over here. See, I haven't even looked at all of these charts, and I'm looking at them, and you're seeing my live reactions to a lot of these charts. Wow. If these variables play out, we could have a very fun couple of days. And my ego on Thursday night stream will be huge if these variables play out. So hopefully they do. I mean, you're also kind of back testing a big level here as well. Zeke, I don't know if you're watching right now, but I know you love AMC. This is a huge level. $9 right over here. Historical level, divergence, bullish bat, double bottom. Yeah, I mean, I don't really know what else there is to say. Apple, Amazon, that's what we talked about already. Let's talk about Fisker and CLOV now. Fisker, all right, let's get started here. I don't know if Maddie's watching this stream still, but we're gonna have a little bit of a story time, okay? I'm just trying to make sure my watch list is all correct. All right, so let's talk about Fisker. This feels very weird to say. This feels very, very weird to say. But Fisker is my... I should probably like confirm this. I'm not going to check it literally, but I'm pretty sure Fisker is my biggest loss this month, which is just like... It's just emotions. I have very mixed emotions right now. You all know how much I love Fisker, but I've tried to swing Fisker for the past few weeks. I kind of stopped in the past week. But I was trying to swing it. I was trying to catch a low. I mean, we talked about the short interest, a huge wedge on the daily, literally everything. And it just, I don't know, it just didn't do much. So, yeah, Fisker has kind of, I wouldn't say betrayed me lately, but it hurts a little bit for me to look at the chart. Because Fisker historically has been very nice to me. But it's just not been nice to me lately. I'm sure all of you have those stocks which, way back in the day, they, maybe made you a lot of money. And then like you try and trade it again and it's just not the same thing, and it just makes you feel weird. There's a lot of analogies I could use to this, but I'm not going to use the analogies that just popped up in my head. So, yeah. But let's talk about where it is, where the technicals are right now. Again, shout out to Undershot for this indicator. Like, even myself, who I feel like without any sort of like indicator labeling it, I still feel like I can spot divergences very, very quickly just from doing it for the past 2-3 years. But this indicator is amazing. Like the 1 to 2 seconds it saves me on every single chart and time frame I look at. Saves me. It's gonna end up saving me maybe like a whole year of my life with how much I'm on TradingView. And for some of you who maybe it takes 5 to 10 seconds to spot it, like, again, shout out to you, Undershot. If you want the divergence indicator, I dropped in the chat earlier, or just go in the Discord and look around for it, just ask somebody. But yeah, Fisker did break out of this wedge. Of course, as soon as I stopped, like I was literally trying to scale into calls like all the way over here. As soon as I stopped trying, that's when it's going up and the market's still going down, or at least it's consolidating. I don't know. But you did break out of this wedge on Fisker, and this is another big thing, all right? You got, and this is very similar to CLOV like a month and a half ago. You went very close to that $8 level, which is like your major lows, and you just got above it. It's kind of like a partial decline. The bears were not able to bring Fisker all the way back down to test the $8 support. They didn't have the strength to do it. I need to like flip this camera over. Look, all right, let me just. So I'm supposed to be looking here, but I keep looking here, and it's frustrating me. But as I was saying, yeah, broke out of a wedge on the 1 hour chart. It is consolidating in this zone. This is a very, I don't know, this like 890 to 920-ish area. Fisker just loves consolidating here, so it's consolidating here. Again, if the SPY, the QQQ, if those variables play out, I'm gonna set an alert right now. And if Fisker gets above 920, there's not much resistance between that and like almost 10 bucks. So yeah, let's go over to a weekly actually. Reduction starting, I believe, in the next couple of months. You just broke out of a wedge on the weekly. You've now successfully held $8 since May. So for almost 4 months, you've successfully held $8 in a bear market. You actually had a weekly bullish pin bar candle. Don't be surprised if you see a Fisker swing alerted very soon. That's all I'm going to say. It might have hurt me a little bit in the past month, but if I got to take one for the team, that's just how it is, I guess, right? But we'll see what happens. And again, the risk management part's really easy because it's held at $8 so many times. So just placing a stop like right under there, I can actually delete this previous swing, kind of hit one of the targets, but just placing a stop under there from a technical standpoint makes a lot of sense. Not financial advice. So look, this is my first stream back. We're looking at this chart. We've seen this before. If you've been around for long enough, we've seen this before. And let me tell you, if we see it again, I'm gonna make money off of it. If we see it again, I'm gonna make money off it. All right, I need to make back the last few weeks from Fisker, and maybe then some. But that's Fisker. Let's look at CLOV now, which had another stock with a rough rejection of the 200-day moving average. Hidden bullish divergence is possible on the daily if that MACD really starts waning and you make a high or low above really your all-time lows. You're not really anywhere on the higher time frames. This 260-ish area was highs like July 7th and June 8th. It was also a low from March 15th or whatever, so it's at a little bit of a level. You have another stock with 1 hour classic bullish divergence, also oversold. This is not me telling you the future, but if I were to translate the oscillators, which are the MACD and the RSI that I use to all of you right now, is literally just word for word, one summary from the stream, just based on the oscillators, would be short-term bounce. That's what they're saying. I don't know if it's going to happen. They're not foolproof. Like, literally no indicator is foolproof, but short-term bounce is what they're just speaking to me, and that's what I'm hearing. So I don't know if I can fully trust them, but I'm just telling you what they're telling me. All right, I'm just the translator. I'm the middleman here. So that is CLOV. Yeah, so that's just some of the names on my watch list that I'm going to be keeping an eye on. If any of you want me to look at any stocks, I know there have been some requests already in the chat, but drop it in the chat now and I'll take a look at a few. Another reminder, slightly different stream schedule. No more Monday streams, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, 3 days a week for the next couple of months till my fall semester is over. But longer streams on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. No more half-an-hour streams. Nice, packed, long streams for all of you to watch. And on top of that, we're gonna have shorts. All right. So if you miss the streams, then you get updates still. Michael says JOB, which is to take her job, is debt-free, which is debt-free after paying off over 70 million off with over 14 million in cash and even funds bought after earnings, and what value has gone up, making new highs each day, will hit 0.76 tomorrow and being a debt-free. So yeah, again, we'll look at the chart, but I have no clue. I don't really know much about the company. And again, there's one thing I ask from all of you when you watch the streams. First of all, thank you for watching the streams. I really appreciate it. But just one thing I ask. There's a button. It's called the like button. And I like when you like the like button. Okay? Yeah, job, it was in this consolidation range. It broke out of it about a few weeks back. It's moving up. There's not much resistance to like 83 cents. That's going to be a gap fill. It's also some previous highs. So it's just kind of in between two major levels. Zeke says, CLOV looking like it may be forming a bull flag on the delay. Yeah, it does kind of have that look to it. A lot of wedges just in general have been forming since that top that we put in a couple weeks back. I think, did we look at Tesla or no? What is Walgreens WBA? I feel like we looked at Tesla. Yeah, we did look at Tesla earlier. It'll be in the timestamps. All right, Square. Oh, I have a lot of stuff going on. So yeah, it did break this demand line. Longer term, looks like a lot of other charts. It broke out a wedge. It had a nice little move up with the market. Now it's pulling back. The main thing you're going to be looking for is any low above lows you already put in around 57 earlier this year. Hidden bullish divergence is starting to develop a little bit on the daily, on the 4 hour. Kind of draw this wedge. A lot of these charts look very similar, which is something I like. A lot of them look bullish. So it might be time to start curling back up. And today's lows are going to be very, very crucial. That also did line up very close to this gap fill from July 27th. Yeah, this is very interesting stuff going on here. Then we got BG. This doesn't look like a lot of charts. This looks how a lot of charts looked like when we were up over here, right? So this is kind of it. This feels like this stock just hasn't moved in the last. Like it feels like it got up to where everything else was like 2 weeks ago, and then it just stopped there. But yeah, you've got hidden bearish divergence on the MACD, as you can see there. You've also got it on the RSI. You are breaking down from this upsloping channel, rising wedge, bear flag, whatever you want to call it. You close under the 200-day moving average, pretty close to a bearish engulfing candle. You also rejected a resistance. You could see that was previous highs and lows. Hey, maybe if the market starts bouncing, it just saves this with it. But if the overall market didn't exist and this was just a chart, I mean, the bearish variables are there. So yeah, I mean, that's like, if the market was looking short-term bearish, this would be at the top of my short list, if that makes sense, just from a technical standpoint. I don't know anything about Bungie Limited. Why does it say the name twice up here? But yeah, that's all I'm trying to say. So who knows what the overall market does, but just this chart by itself, I mean, it's just weird that it's just over here when most of the other stocks have already like done this. You know what I'm saying? All right, now we have OXY. This has been going crazy. I've been hearing so much about it, but I don't know. There's not much to really be said. It's like a very large broadening pattern that just kind of in the middle of it. I don't see much of a short-term edge here. This looks like a 50-50 chart to me, to be honest with you, so I don't want to just BS it. Then we have TBR. I'd say this one broke out not too long ago, and it kind of went up the 200-day moving average. Now it's pulling back a little bit, but it is back testing a previous zone of resistance, so not bad. Then we have Walgreens, which is at the demand line of this huge wedge. Like the bear flag kind of played out, broke up and then went down. I mean, it's retesting its, what are these, Cobra crash lows? Not even. Wow, so yeah, after most stocks bottomed out, I think around April of 2020, this actually kept going down till elections and then it went crazy. But yeah, it's a little bit deep for a bullish bat, I believe. Yeah, it's not an official harmonic, but it has the XABCD look. This is the critical area. I mean, from a risk management standpoint, it's not that complicated. You know what that means and you know what that means. But that's really where it's at. It's a very interesting area. It's just like, I don't know, if there's some news here or just the market selling off. It's kind of weird. We looked at Amazon. All right, those will probably be the final ones for tonight. AGRI, not a lot to talk about. It's kind of like broke out of a wedge, went up for a little bit, now it's pulling back. Those are some levels. Microsoft rejected this routing bottom breakout, rejected 200-day moving average. Lower time frames probably look just like everything else. Certainly do. So testing a lower time frame breakout, you've got confirmed classic bullish divergence. So variables for a short-term bounce are there. You've also, if you get that short-term bounce and your MACD starts waning back towards green, that'll give you some hidden bullish divergence. And that would be a very interesting formation at that point. You're also kind of back testing this high over here from April of 2021. And then we have Google, which had a fake break. It's kind of like Wyckoff distribution, to be honest. I want to get Cheddar Freeze's opinion on this, but did have a fake breakout to the upside. This was actually something I mentioned. All right, the options have actually not been amazing in the past couple weeks. Same for the swings, obviously the market pulling back. But if you're in premium, I put a lot. The main thing I was focusing on while I was on vacation was putting stuff in the Watchlist channel, because it was hard for me to alert day trades, and the market did not look very swingable. So I was like, what do I do now? I really can't alert day trades because I'm on vacation, and I really don't want to alert that many swings because the market looks bearish. So let me just give a lot of my thoughts in the Watchlist channel. And literally, like, I had to say something about it today. Like, it played out perfectly, all the different things. I was literally saying, like when we were over, let me show it to you all. I'm going to come back to this chart in a second, but I want to just have myself on the back a bit first. But literally, we were right over here, and I was saying I'm looking for a short-term bounce in the market, which we did get. And then I said, but I'm still overall bearish, and I'm looking for that to kind of just continue to sell off. So I was saying I was looking for a dead cat bounce. I don't know if I have it word for word here. Yeah, I'll personally be looking for a dead cat bounce before taking short positions. And then that's literally like you got your dead cat bounce, and then for the last few days you've been just mini crashing. But I did share Google. where did I share it? Google right over here. Yeah, so I said Google bear side, failure to break out of the range. So it failed to break out over here. I don't know if it ever ended up filling that 117 gap fill. Let's go take a look. It got very close. So pretty much I shared it on the bearish watch list right over here. Got close to that 117 gap fill, but I was saying overall just see how it reacts and just reject it and just sold off. So you have that 105 gap fill now, but you're just back towards the bottom of this range. And then finally, DCFC. Oh, it sounds like a football club for some reason, but yeah, those are your bigger levels. Testing one right now. It says earnings are like tomorrow, so I don't know if that's true, but keep an eye on that. Do we not look at Best Buy? Yeah, things are on my watch list. Yeah, Best Buy was a swing guy there not too long ago. Hit the first target, it's kind of been pulling back since. Right now it's just testing or retesting this $75 level. You've got a little bit of potential hidden bullish divergence. A lot of volume today might have been earnings. I don't know if something happened after hours. Let's take a look. Not really, no. But it says earnings were today. Yeah, I mean, it looked like it was kind of breaking out, but then it kind of gave back those gains intraday and it closed the candle at the low of the day. So that's what happens. I don't know. And yeah, futures are going a little bit higher. Again, I did say earlier in the stream that you're getting those variables for a short-term bounce on most of the indices, so we'll see what happens. Zeke says he said football club. He's a Londoner now. Wow. All right, yeah, we'll look at Palantir and FUBO, sure. Those are the last two for sure, though. And make sure to like button if you don't already. I'll say the other stuff when I finish looking at the charts. So yeah, Palantir broke down, unfortunately, from this ascending broadening wedge. Also broke back under that critical range. You do have a little bit of support in this mid $7 area. From these lows over here, you've got an upside gap fill in, some resistance around like mid $8 area. This is pretty close to like a bullish harmonic, a bullish shark maybe. Yeah, it's a bullish shark or a cipher actually currently. If it drops down to the 886, it would be a shark, but right now it's a bullish cipher. And then FUBO, which had a very big move up and then back down. Let's see. Just chart a little bit of a wedge forming over here. You've got that 4-hour hidden bullish divergence, and it is actually back testing the top of this previous range. So if it can just get this little breakout back above the range and out of this wedge, that could set up a move. You got some resistance up to like 455-ish. If you can't, then the next level is 304. So that's how I view FUBO. Zeke says, that's crazy you can snipe harmonics that quickly. I used to think the same thing whenever I would see Mitch Ray charting harmonics, so it feels very cool that I've obtained that skill now. Everything is just how much time you put into learning something, really. All right, so thank you all for watching the stream. It's not going to be too long until, you know, literally all this becomes automated. We've already got Undershot making harmonic scanners and the lump making divergence scanners. Now we have a divergence indicator. I said in the premium chat today, but it's not going to be too long until I'm going to be like all the cashiers now at the grocery stores. Just the future is here. All right, the future is here. So, you know, maybe the streamer is going to be like a robot in a few years, but I'm still here for now. So thank you for watching the stream. I'm just messing around. If you're watching the stream Undershot, I'm completely messing around. I really appreciate everything you're doing. But yeah. Steven says, what's the difference between hidden and classic divergences? Great question. So classic divergences imply reversals. So you know, if you have classic bearish divergence, that means you're going up and it's implying that you're going to go back down. If you have classic bullish divergence, it implies a reversal to the upside, because that means you're going down and it implies you're going to go up. If you have a hidden divergence, it implies a continuation. So if you have a hidden bullish divergence, it means your overall trend is up and it's implying your trend is going to continue higher. If you have hidden bearish divergence, it means your overall trend is going down and it's implying you're going to keep going down. There's actually a really good graphic for this. It's in my educational channel, Quick Education. I actually have a video on it right over here, Divergence Explained, but there's also a cheat sheet that looks like this, and it shows you like the examples of it. right over here, and you can see like the pictures and everything. So yeah. All right, so thank you for watching the stream. Hit the like button if you didn't. Make sure you subscribe to the shorts channel. This is gonna be like the main thing I'm gonna just keep annoying all of you about for like next week at least, because I'm just really excited for it. So I just dropped the link for my new shorts channel in the chat. It's also in the description, so go subscribe to that if you want little clips from my streams whenever you can watch them. And of course, final reminder, today is the day. Tonight is the night, all right? The last few hours of this sale, you know, last year I did sales literally every single month. This year I did one sale like I think a few weeks ago, maybe like a month ago or something. But I really haven't done any sales since like February, apart from the one I just did. But this is a flash sale, 20% off annual. Annual is already 30% cheaper than monthly, so if you include the 20% off that too, that's 44% cheap. Like, even if you're in premium, you can also get this. You just have to DM me. Like, I don't know what else, you know. This is like the deal, and it's for tonight, and that's my pitch. All right. And if you're not interested, that's completely fine. Make sure you watch the free course in the description. Join the Discord. Learn as much as you can. However you want to teach yourself, I want you to do that. Whatever is best for you. Whatever the best way for you to learn is. And I'm never going to promise any results in premium. There's no promised results. There's better times to be in premium. There's not as great times to be in premium. That's just the fact of the matter. I can't always trade perfectly. The market's always going to be different. So I'm never ever going to promise results, but I will always promise you one thing in premium: education. All right, that is my main goal. If you want to learn more, that's the place. All right, so the only result I promise you in premium is education. If you want that, links in the description. It's also the pin chat. Use code FALL, FALL. Use coupon code FALL when you're checking out for annual, and the price will go down from $379 to $303. That's like, I think it's almost like 2 months at the current rate for free, technically, that you'd be getting. So yeah, if you're interested in that, and even if like you're on the fence about it, that's completely fine. Just message me. If you have any questions about what it's like, you want a quick walkthrough, even though there's a walkthrough video on the sign-up page. I don't like saying this, but I do feel like I was one of like the first, at least from like the Twitter space, to start like a premium thing, because literally, like I've told you all, like I'm sacrificing everything so I'm able to do this. So like if you're interested in stuff like that, like I just want it to be very transparent. This is not like a lot of other people's, and I'm not going to give up specific reasons or whatnot, but really this is something I started way back in the day. Initially it was just for more swings, but it's just become a different beast, and they've also made a new announcement today. I didn't even bring this up on the stream, but I'm also going to be doing a weekly video now, because I already send a weekly watch list every single weekend in this channel. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of a weekly video to like actually like talk about the watch list rather than just send charts for your own interpretation. So I'm actually going to be doing like a weekly video whenever I send this watch list every single weekend. I'm actually going to explain what I'm seeing on all these charts. So, and that's on top of the swings, the options, the bullseye bot, everything in the chat throughout the day. A lot of other great contributors, and yeah, so thank you all for the support. Thank you for watching the stream. If you're interested in that, it's the pin chat, first link in the description. And yeah, have a great night. I will be live again tomorrow night. Remember, the new stream schedule is 8 p.m. Eastern time on Tuesday and Wednesday, and then 9 p.m. Eastern time on Thursday. All right, have a good night. Peace out.
Closed, I trust in you. you gotta do is blow when I say